We have extremely limited bed capacity in our hospitals, and it's really pitting our residents with the migrants, and it's very insensitive, even cruel, to even create this environment where sick people are actually competing now for beds.
That's a Texas mayor warning about the COVID crisis at the southern border as more and more illegal migrants test positive. This is stunning footage from our southern border shows a massive group of migrants, nearly 1,000 strong, waiting under a Texas bridge near a popular Rio Grande crossing, the largest one we've ever seen in the area. Julio Rosas is a senior writer for townhall.com. He joins us now from La Jolla, Texas. Julio, thank you so much. You've been all over this topic. You've seen the drone footage, things we've shared here on Fox News. What are you seeing on the ground when it comes to how large the numbers are and what we're seeing with COVID as well from illegals?
You can see it kind of just behind me right now. There's a group of about 50 people, and the sad fact is that this is one of the smallest groups we've seen or time down here very recently. A couple days ago, just off to my left, Border Patrol was processing 200 people, and one of the most disturbing parts about that group was that there was a lot of sneezing and a lot of coughing, which is not an uncommon thing to hear, but when it's a group that big and that many people who appeared or sounded to be sick, that's kind of concerning, because now when we're talking about in the United States the Delta variant and how, we might have to go back into some restrictions like we were last year, you would think that border security and making sure that, people who aren't carrying any type of disease would be coming into the country. And so this is just a continuation of the border crisis, and it's a multifaceted problem. But when we're talking about this happening during a pandemic, that's not good for the migrants who are making the journey.
Yeah,
to the border patrol agents who have to deal with these people.
Julio, you're right. It is multifaceted, but to stay on the COVID side, you're hearing coughing and sneezing. Are you seeing testing and protocols? What about the agents that are there?
So testing does occur, but it's kind of a hit or miss, because remember, this is the people that we see, and because they're willing to be caught. Now, there are people, the gotaways, which estimates are at the highest levels in recent years, that are able to get away. So they could be sick, or they could be carrying narcotics or what have you. And so so testing does occur. It just depends on whether or not they are actually able to hand themselves over. And of course, as we know, there are people who don't want to be caught at all.
Julio, I presume you've had a chance to talk to agents on the border. What's their mindset right now? I hear thunderstorms behind you. Their dynamic situation always. What is the mindset of Border Patrol individuals?
I've not talked to not just Border Patrol, but I also talked to local law enforcement down here, and really, this is the worst that they've seen it in their time living down here. This is something that they see on a pretty consistent basis, but they did notice a dramatic increase in activity after January 20th, which is no surprise because of the Biden administration.
Is it rhetoric about the border? We were told the summer would be less because it's hot. Is this unlike other summers they've seen?
Yes, and when we're talking about the apprehension numbers, it was just reported that we're probably going to be over 200,000 for the month of July. It's consistently gets to be about 100 degrees down here, and yet there's still a lot of people coming. The Rio Grande behind me is about 1.5 miles, and so even once they get to the United States, they still have to make a long journey, and they often get lost, and so the heat and start. And so again, it's dangerous for people to make this journey for many reasons, and the heat is one of them. And yet we're still seeing high numbers of people coming in here on a daily basis.
Yeah, doesn't sound very humane either for anyone involved. Julio Rosas, thank you for the on-the-ground report. We appreciate it. Stay safe in that thunderstorm.
Thank you.
All right. Coming up, a startling new report could